the Spurs go marching in. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in, I wanna be in that number. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in. Oh boy. Some good water. Hey, what's going on? My name's Lockie. This is Coastal Football. And this is our first ever Premier League watch along on the Coastal Football YouTube channel. Of course, many of you, regular subscribers, will know that we do A-League content here, Australian football content. This is the first time we are branching out. But it's still sort of in the vicinity of Australian football because, of course, we have the man himself, Uncle Ange, in charge of Tottenham Hotspur. It is absolutely bucketing at Bournemouth today for Bournemouth v Tottenham. Good to see Spurs here, Troy's here, Bus Boys here, TJ Penno says go Aussies. And there he is, Ange, the man himself. Of course, if you're in Australia, as many of you guys will know, you can watch the game on Optus Sport. And we are hoping to see Ange and Tottenham succeed again. For those that don't know, I am indeed a Tottenham fan. You can see in the top corner here, got the Spurs jersey hanging up, looking lovely. That is the away kit from a couple of years ago. And hey, great opportunity here for Spurs to get 2 consecutive wins in the league against a Bournemouth side who has struggled early on this season. To be fair, they've been coming off they're coming off the back of a tricky matchup against Liverpool, away to Liverpool, where they did end up losing that one. Against a 10-man Liverpool, it should be said, but they did end up losing that one 3-1. Tottenham, of course, 2-2 against Brentford on the opening day, and then the 2-0 win against Manchester United. Bournemouth were held to a 1-1 draw against West Ham at home in their opening fixture. So Bournemouth still looking for their first 3 points of the competition. Optus Sport, Troy says, Optus Sport coming in clutch with lots of football, dude. I mean, if you're a football fan in Australia and you're not subscribed to Optus Sport, what are you doing? Because they do a great job of broadcasting a lot of major competitions. Obviously, the Premier League, the Women's Super League. Of course, we've had the Women's World Cup. That was all on Optus Sport. It's awesome. It's awesome, man. And we are set for kickoff here. So, very excited for this one. Of course, barracking for Tottenham. Barracking for Ange too. It's not just Spurs, it's Ange, man. And we're so excited to have an Aussie coaching in the Premier League. Here we go, set for kickoff. Of course, we have the slight delay on the YouTube stream. We might be just slightly behind your broadcast, your stream. So please just be wary of that. But Bournemouth are going to get us underway in the south of England. Tottenham in their fresh, all-white kit. Bournemouth, of course, in their red and black home kit. Blake's here as well. How's it going, Blake? Says, hello, mate. I hope Spurs lose after beating us last week, says Blake. I take it you're a United fan, Blake. So, Spurs been playing some really nice football of late. Under Ange, a new attacking brand of football. The fans are liking it. Everyone's liking it. Aussie's here as well. Good to see you here, Aussie. Aussie was here for our earlier stream. This is our second stream of the day. We were live about 7 hours ago, right? For an Australia Cup watch along. We did a watch along for the Australia Cup match between Sydney United and Brisbane Roar, where Brisbane won 5-0 as Bournemouth looked to win the ball high of the park here. Philip Billing in the box. And Van der Ven has to concede a corner. Tottenham under pressure in the opening minute. Troy says, it's great. I've had Optus Sport for the last 4 years. It's great. I'm putting on my Arsenal show just for now in favour of Big Ange, of course. That's right. And I know there's a lot of Premier League, Arsenal fans in Australia. So it's a tricky one for some of those Arsenal fans, isn't it? Dylan's here. Good to see you here, Dylan. Here's Bournemouth with the first set piece of the match, headed away by Basuma. And Spurs should be able to bring this clear. Bournemouth looking to come back again, though. Blake's prediction here. Going for Bournemouth 2, Spurs 1. Be a big result for Bournemouth if they could get their first win here against Spurs. Tasers in the chat. How's it going, Taser? Says, I'm a Newcastle fan. Not worried about Ange. Don't mind this Bournemouth home kit, man. Like the red stripes, obviously the red and black stripes is what we usually see on the Bournemouth kits. The red stripes themselves, a little bit thinner than usual. I don't mind it. It's a clean design, isn't it? Very, very nice. Very neat. Don't forget as well, if you want to support the stream, if you want to help me keep making content here on the channel, you can consider sending through a super chat. As Hunmin Song is in behind, Son cutting it back. Bournemouth able to deal with it, but little opening there for Spurs. Super chats greatly help me out and can help me to continue making content on the channel. I greatly appreciate the support. Mike, thanks for reminding me, man. I thought I hit start on the clock. Thank you for reminding me. Already a few minutes into this one. Almost through again there for Spurs. So, couple little openings for both sides in the opening few minutes. Boston's back in the a Tottenham win, 1-0. I could see that happening. I could see tonight. I could see tonight being a tight match. Very rainy evening, morning, I should say. Well, day, afternoon. Of course, it is. What's the local time in England? Like 12:30, right? 12:30, I think it is over in England. 9:30 here on the east coast of Australia. Bailey's here as well. So good, so glad to see you guys here, man. This is the first Premier League live watch along we are doing here on the Coastal Football YouTube channel. I've been keen to sort of branch out a little bit into the Premier League, you know what I mean? It's obviously a league that is pretty heavily supported by Australian football fans. And it's going to keep us satisfied up until the when the A-League season gets underway in a couple months' time. Strong challenge from Billing on Richarlison. Richarlison hasn't been too involved in the opening couple fixtures for Tottenham. It's been more about the players around him who've been performing really well. So, bit of a frantic start to this game too. Tottenham just trying to settle on the ball now. Look at this press though from Bournemouth, dude. They are going for this. They want to try and unsettle Tottenham. They do. They clearly don't want to make it easy for Spurs to play on the ball. James Maddison is in his own box there trying to play it out. And that's a foul going the way of Spurs in their own half. The doggies down. But it's been a really impressive, seeing the way Tottenham have been playing in these opening weeks. And fascinating as well, seeing tactically seeing how the fullbacks for Spurs, how they tuck inside, help overload that midfield area. La Liga live streams, that might be fun to do. What do you follow any La Liga teams in particular, Bailey? Will this finish at like 12? Lockie asks Boston. It'll be like 11:30 when this finishes, my time. Couple free kicks in their defensive half, Tottenham. As Bournemouth. And again, another foul here. So 3 fouls in the space of like 20 seconds. Bournemouth absolutely throwing everything at Spurs when they have the ball. The press is immense. Real Madrid, very nice. Very nice indeed. Oh, that's right. That's the other competition I forgot. Optus Sport show La Liga too, don't they? I don't watch as much La Liga, but we're definitely keen to explore do some live streams for some of those games. James Maddison. Forward pass, looking for that sneaky outside of the boot. I like the idea from Maddison. I like it. Didn't quite work out that time. But he's looked really good in these first couple of fixtures, man. Getting himself involved. Loves to get on the ball. Good opportunity. But Bournemouth clearly starting this game, wanting to compete here. Wanting to make sure Tottenham do not control this game. We saw what Tottenham did when they were able to conduct a play for large chunks of that game against Manchester United last week. They ended up dropping the 2 goals. Blake supports Mallorca in the Liga. Very nice. Can't say I've ever met a Mallorca supporter. Boston's a Madrid fan too. There you go. Got some Madrid fans in the chat. Vicario under pressure here. Has to go long for Spurs towards Richarlison. And Sarr will look to win that back. Does well. Chance for Spurs to break through the middle of the park here. Sarr, his pass just offline. Richarlison, almost. Win probability on the broadcast, 52% for Spurs, 27% draw, 21% Bournemouth win. Feels about right. An unchanged lineup as well for Tottenham Hotspur. Kulusevski and Son starting on the wings. It's a good lineup. I like it. It'll be interesting to see whether Tottenham do choose to bring in another striker. James Maddison fouled there. Yet another foul here. So that's, what's that, 4 or 5 fouls now within the opening 10 minutes committed by Bournemouth. Racking up those fouls already, Bournemouth. Really trying to unsettle Tottenham. And another sliding challenge, but Basuma breaks free. Inside for Maddison. Loses the ball. James Maddison still. Nice pass for Richarlison. Kulusevski in the box. Trying to find the angle. Back for Pedro Porro. Kulusevski. There's Sarr. No, it's Basuma. Maddison. Turning. Trying to get that shot off. It was blocked and cleared. Boy. Hey, Bailey, I must say, I wish I could do that, but that would absolutely get me banned from YouTube, that's for sure. Blake asks, what's your Manchester United Nottingham Forest predictions? That should be a win for Manchester United. It's a winnable game for them for sure. I think they do get a win. I'm gonna go 2-1 Manchester United there. With Doggy in the box for Tottenham. Nice run. It's Philip Billing with the block. It'll be Tottenham's first corner of the game, 10 minutes in. After a fiery start from Bournemouth, Tottenham just starting to work their way into this match. Would love an early goal here. Got the first goal away to Brentford in their first fixture. Some wrestling in the box. You can see a full lineup of Tottenham players there. Son has to go backwards. Pedro Porro will trickle through to the keeper. So, Aussie says 2-0 Forest. That'd be a big result for Forest, wouldn't it? Big concerns for Manchester United. It's another interesting start to the season for Manchester United. I mean, the win against... Oh, heavy fall here. Well, Christian Romero's down. That was a really awkward fall. Basuma isn't happy with the treatment on Romero. But, oh my gosh, dude, that was a fall. I mean, sitting up Christian Romero, so he appears to be okay. Oh my god, dude, he absolutely crunched. Was it the right hip? It was. Oh, dude, landed full force on his right hip there. Christian Romero, he's up and he's fine, dude. I was really worried there. He looked... That did not look good at all. Damn Romero, says Captain LF. Oh, man. I was concerned there for a second. He was laying prone on the floor for a second there. But he's all good. Tough defender. Appreciate that, Boston. Appreciate that, man. Bournemouth looking to get themselves back on the ball and get some attacks going here. Nice pass out wide. Chance for Bournemouth to attack with pace down the left. Nice move. And that should be a corner. It will be. Couple new changes to this Bournemouth squad. Decent team. They've got some decent players in their team. Tall timber in the box to aim for. Lloyd Kelly's up. Dominic Solanke's in the box as well. Cleavert whipping in that corner, floating that went in. "12 minutes in. Bournemouth 0. Tottenham 0. I did see Western United's new ground. There's been some more photos coming out of that too. Hey, good to see it's finally coming together. The training ground, which we expect they'll be playing out of Western United in the A-League this season. There's it hasn't been confirmed yet. They did all the Western United home fixtures are still listed as TBC in terms of the location. But we imagine that Western United will be playing out of that new training ground, and I think the word is that there will be some sort of temporary seating installed so that the capacity can be increased, which would be good. Sky Blue Park, dude. Sydney FC's new training ground looks fantastic. Seeing photos of it and stuff on the socials, it looks top class. Do you watch much Premier League games? Asked Blakey. I try to. Yeah, I try to. It's a bit tricky with the time difference as Tottenham are in the box here. Maddison! Good save, and Richarlison's header couldn't direct it on target. Good opportunity there for Tottenham. Who tried to get him behind there. It was a poor clearance there from Neto, and Tottenham pounced. Maddison, so close. Needed to lift that a bit higher, didn't he? Neto able to save that with the foot. I do try to watch as many Premier League games as I can. Often the ones at this time zone, because this time slot, I should say, much more comfortable of a time slot for us viewers in Australia, that's for sure. Son's big delivery is going to miss Richarlison, and it will be cleared up into the stance. Bournemouth promoted from the Championship a couple of years ago now. Second consecutive season in the Premier League. Looking to become a regular once again in the Premier League. Quarter of an hour in. Bournemouth 0. Tottenham 0. Both teams quite clearly up for this game. Bournemouth with some really intense pressing. Doggy showing good strength down that left. Trying to keep going with the ball. Loses it. Tottenham with the better chances so far, though. Saar with some space here. Pat Matas scored his first goal for Tottenham last week against Manchester United in that 2-0 win. Great moment for him. A midfielder who's looking to get some more game time at Tottenham this season. Spurs building here. You can see the fullbacks coming infield. Here's edge of the box. Great pass! It's Maddison! It's 1-0. It's a delightful goal from Tottenham Hotspur. James Maddison. Brilliantly done. What a move. Spurs take a deserved lead here in the first half. Ange will love that. Ange will love that. The dance celebration that looked like from the boys there too. Look at this, man. Pedro Porro from the right. Bissouma, great little turn into the feet of Sarr. And how about that for a pass? Well onside there, James Maddison. And just passed it through into the corner. How good was that from Sarr, though, that pass? Oh, delightfully weighted. Beautifully finished. That's right, Ruben. That's right, Captain. That's right, Boston. Sammy's here as well. Good to see you here, Sammy. Jesus, that was such good play. Beautiful football from Tottenham. The pass from Sarr, the turn from Bissouma, the finish and run from James Maddison. It's Ange ball, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ange ball. It's here. It's arrived in the Premier League. Spurs 1. Bournemouth 0. Neymar's here as well. How's it going, Neymar? Good to see you here. Look at the Tottenham fans at the stadium. Dude, I saw it. Did you guys see the inflatable kangaroo? An inflatable kangaroo in the Tottenham fans. Love it. Love it. Ollie's here as well. Good to see you here, Ollie. Good to see so many of you tuning in for this watchalong. We appreciate it. 1-0. Spurs open the scoring through James Maddison. Great work. Great football. What do Bournemouth have in response? Out wide. The Kluivert. Looking to deliver. Romero gets it up. Sarr's challenged in the shot. Still bobbling around the box for Bournemouth here. Spurs trying to deal with this. Van der Ven heads away. Bournemouth throw. So, Ange Postecoglou will be happy with that. Great goal. Early goal for Tottenham, giving them the advantage. Blake says was going to put James Maddison in my fantasy Premier League team, but went for Mitoma this week. I don't blame you. I mean, Mitoma's a good option in FPL for sure. But James Maddison with a goal here. And you'd imagine he would be racking up plenty of assists this season. He's central to a lot of things Tottenham do moving forward, James Maddison. Playing as one of those number 8s or the number 10, if you like. You can see here Tottenham now on defence. They sort of set up in a 4-4-2 with Maddison and Richarlison, the two players up top. Bournemouth corner here. And then it does turn into a bit more of a 4-3-3 when Tottenham do have possession. So, the home team with the set piece here. Chance to hit back. They started really, really brightly. They were really feisty in the opening minutes. Bournemouth. This corner is a high one. Headed down. Kluivert trying to get the shot away. Free kick Spurs. So, if you're just tuning in, Tottenham take a 1-goal lead courtesy of James Maddison. It was a lovely goal, Boston. Very, very nice goal by James Maddison. Beautiful piece of play. Bissouma made a really nice turn into space and the pass inside for Sarr. And then Sarr with the vision and the weight of pass to find the run of James Maddison, who just sliced through the central defenders. Very, very nice. And then the finish as well. I mean, it was tricky. It was even tricky for Maddison there. He had to try and find the corner because Neto, the keeper, was coming out at him. Under pressure here, Van der Ven having to backtrack. Vicario. Oh, nice pass. The reverse pass from Vicario was nice. I thought he was going to go long there. Richarlison Lays it off for Maddison. Who's going to release Heung-min Son? Heung-min Son is away here. Son for Spurs. Has defenders in his path. Back for Sa. Sa. Oh, dude. Great chance, Tottenham. Beautiful move. How good was the pass by Maddison for Son? Sa on the ball. Scored last week. Little tame on the shot. Little tame on the shot there, Sa. Spurs back in possession here. Sa, edge of the box. Wide for Kulusevski. Space is opening up for Spurs. Kulusevski cuts in. Son. Look at this. Man, this is what Spurs do. They get numbers up the pitch. They get players advanced. And they simply outnumber the opposition. The doggy down the left. Oh, just loses the ball there. That's great, though. It's an interesting style of play, and it's something, with Ange and this style of play, he needs to get all the players on board with the style of play, and they are. They appear to be. Valhoon's here. Good to see you here, Valhoon. Valhoon. I assume that's the correct pronunciation, right, Valhoon? Gilly is here as well, says, come on, you Spurs. Sammy G says, I reckon we go through tomorrow against Wellington. Yeah, I think City will be favourites for tomorrow against Phoenix. They do have a stronger squad at the moment. Obviously, plenty of fresh faces for City. Could be some debuts tomorrow for Melbourne City as well. Potentially, Hamza Saki, the new Moroccan midfielder they signed last week. I'll visit Colombia in the near future. Very nice, Boston. That'd be fun. Ollie says, Asian Cup in a few months. Go Australia. That's right, Asian Cup. Not too long away. It's the football doesn't stop, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the A-Leagues kicking off in October, and then the Asian Cup in January. Spurs got this in the bag, says Captain LF. Spurs got this in the bag. Look, it's a great start, that's for sure. Kulusevski could be in behind again here. Kulusevski, defender's back. But he's still going here, the Swede in the box. Looking to deliver. Corner. Great play, man. Great play. The quick release from Tottenham. They know when to go early with that pass. They know when to go quickly up the field. Try and catch Bournemouth out. It's 25 minutes in. It's Bournemouth 0. It's Tottenham 1. But the way Tottenham going, this could be the first of many goals today. So, if you're a Spurs fan, it's a happy day so far. Aziz Bayic, yes, good point. Aziz Bayic as well. Could make his debut tomorrow. Corner. Son wide. Long range effort goes wide. Aziz Bayic, yeah, I would expect him to start. Sammy says, hope Saki, Aslan, and Ugarkovic start. That would make sense as the midfield three. I'd imagine that will be the midfield three for City. You got, whether Terry Antonis fits into that system. Alessandro Lopane scored a goal in the round of 32 matchup against Oakley Cannons for City. There's options there, now for City. They've got a decent team. I mean, the mass exodus was really concerning for City a couple months ago when they lost all those players after losing the grand final. But now they've done a really decent job of recruiting and building together a pretty decent team. And some of the players that they have brought in from overseas look pretty decent too. And hopefully for City, they do settle in. Maddison. Delivery towards that far post. Just going to evade everyone. We're going to be doing a watch-along for that one as well tomorrow as well. Worth mentioning. Our next live stream is tomorrow, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Melbourne City, Wellington Phoenix. Very excited for it, actually. Sammy says, Lopane looks good so far. He's a good young player. He's a fantastic young player. Had limited minutes at West Sydney Wanderers, but when he did play, he always showed promising signs. Very fleet of foot, good dribbler, and I think he'll flourish at City if he gets the game time. That is, if he gets the game time. Jack says, seeing Ange cooking in Europe, surely this is a dream. Nama asks, what happened to Iran Kunda? Yeah, so Nestor Iran Kunda, he's okay. He's okay, which is the good news by the looks of things. For those that didn't hear, I only found out about this tonight too, right? Let me find this because we'll share it on the socials. So Nestor Iran Kunda played a match in the South Australia NPL last night for Adelaide United, and apparently had a heavy fall in game. And it was such a heavy fall that he was left struggling to breathe. And luckily, apparently, let's have a look here. The referee was apparently a doctor, and he administered aid and cleared his airways. And apparently, Nestor Iran Kunda was all good and reported into training this morning. So, there was a bit of a concerning incident with Nestor Iran Kunda. Breathing problems after a heavy fall. So, but good to hear that he's all okay. But that's scary, man. Scary. The sun's coming out in Bournemouth as the home side look to wrestle back a goal. Yes. Sammy going back to Lopana. Yes, he started his early career at Western Sydney Wanderers. Captain Elf says, I'm going to get a Spurs jersey. The current home one's nice. It's not my favourite. But it's clean. It's clean, that's for sure. I do like last season's home kit, actually. It's really nice. See in the box here. Bournemouth, good opportunity for them. Getting the block in there. And they will have a throw-in a dangerous position. Bournemouth looking to bounce back here. Dylan, it was James Maddison who scored for Tottenham. James Maddison. Really nicely worked goal. It was nice play. It was Sarr with a wonderful weighted pass, and James Maddison made a nice run through the middle, and he swept it into the back of the net. Beautiful goal. Some concern here, actually, for the assister in that goal. Papamata Sarr is down. Currently being treated by the medical staff. Good to see Mr. Freshman here as well. Decent little stadium. They're showing us a nice little like a helicopter shot of the stadium. One of the smallest grounds in the Premier League. Southern England. It's so funny, like seeing the stadiums in England, and some of them are quite different to like these stadiums we have in Australia. I mean, we're seeing like this like long range shot of the stadium, and like there's just like little like houses and terrace houses like surrounding them. It's cool. Neil's here. How's it going, Neil? Says, come on, Tottenham. Nama says Brisbane destroyed Sydney United. They absolutely did, dude. Brisbane Roar were unreal today against Sydney United. 5-0. They were looking really, really good. We did a live watch along for that one earlier today. And there was a great performance from a Brisbane Roar side who looks rejuvenated and re-energized under new coach Ross Aloisi. I love the confidence Neil is saying Tottenham will win 6-1. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Valiant says, can't wait to see Luton at home. Indeed. Bournemouth in possession. Half an hour of football has been played. And Bournemouth are chasing a goal to get themselves back into this contest. Up to this stage, it's been mostly Tottenham commanding things. Cleavert here, looking to hang it in towards Solanke. Van der Ven has been heavily involved at the back for Tottenham, the tall defender. And the offside flag goes up. Freshman's back in the 2-0 for Spurs. I could see a 2-0 happening too, I reckon. Spurs defensively were good against Manchester United as well. That was the impressive thing. Hey, I'm hoping to get to the Wanderers Adelaide game. I'm either going to get down to the Wanderers Adelaide game or Apia Leichhardt v Sydney. One of the two. I'm only going to do one or the other because we're going to be doing a live watch along for whatever one we don't go to. So I'm still tossing up. I put out a poll. I put out a poll in the community tab. You guys might have seen it yesterday. I think Wanderers Adelaide is actually just leading the way. But I would also love to get to Apia Leichhardt v Sydney because that should be a great game. That should be a great turner for that game, considering it's sort of two local rivals, if you like. Two local rivals. Kulusevski. Van de Ven. Tottenham back in possession. Look at this. Look at Pedro Porro. I mean, this is a classic feature. A classic feature of Ange ball. Look at the fullbacks. They're basically playing as central midfielders. Pedro Porro tucking right inside, swapping with the midfielders. And it's Sarr who slotted into right back for a moment there. Switch of play here for Bournemouth. Good area of the pitch. Max Aarons on the ball. Wins the free kick. But Doggy not happy with it. A judge to have fouled Max Aarons there. Boston says it's going to be 50-50 for the... I assume you're talking about for the Apia Leichhardt Sydney FC game? It's good too because it's like it's a Leichhardt Oval too, so it's a good location for a lot of Sydney FC fans. You know what I mean? It's a pretty central location, I imagine. Not the best for public transport, but still decent. The poll has 42% for Wanderers Adelaide. There you go. Maybe we'll have to get to that one. Oh, the delivery's not bad here in Billing, who I believe is something like 6'6" or 6'7". He's a tall man and got his head on the end of that, but couldn't get it goalwards for Bournemouth. Vicario likes playing with the ball at his feet. Van de Ven looks to hit it long, but that pass is offline. Look at I like the pressure here, the closing down by Tottenham. Very swift in their press. 10 minutes to go in the half. Good pressure here. That should be a foul, though. Sarr just a little bit too aggressive in that challenge. The closing down. We were talking about how strong the closing down was. That was a little bit too strong from Sarr on that occasion. Some huge games coming up in the Australia Cup this week too, man. Hey, I mean, Melbourne City, Wellington tomorrow, Wanderers Adelaide, Apia Leichhardt, Sydney FC. Oh, heavy challenge on Basuma. Play on here. Solanke, edge of the box. Gets it wide. Still on for Bournemouth. Can they get the shot away? Ooh, that's a heavy challenge. And it's play on. Dude, that looked like a foul for sure. It's going to be play on here. Madison. Tottenham players are springing forward. Madison. Through for Richarlison. Can he get the shot? Oh my gosh. No way. It's cleared. What a moment. Madison's complaining to the referee about something. There's a Bournemouth player down 90 metres up the pitch. Chaos. Well, let's have a look at this challenge again. Oh, it's a terrible tackle. How has the referee missed that? Romero, that's at least a yellow card. And Richarlison has somehow failed to score there. Oh my gosh, dude. Richarlison still struggling to score goals. How have Spurs failed to score there? Wow, dude. Well, I still can't believe that the referee missed the tackle from Romero. That was a scissor. It was a slicing challenge on the leg. I'm stunned that was missed. That was a shocking challenge from Christian Romero, and it's somehow been missed. It was easily a yellow card. What a shocking challenge. Here's a replay for Richarlison moment. I think they're asking. Oh, so is there maybe asking for a penalty on Richarlison there for sliding in? I don't know if there was much contact. Lloyd Kelly was sliding in for Bournemouth. It didn't look like much contact at all. Brock's here as well. Says Brock asks, how will Ange do top 8? I think top 8 is certainly realistic for Tottenham. Hey, the way they're going, they could crack top 6 if they can keep up these wins and be scoring goals and keep their top players fit. I think there's a serious chance Tottenham hit top 6, which is a big ask because there's a lot of teams now looking to finish in the top 6. Bournemouth. Kluivert trying to drive forward with the ball here. Doggy gets that clear though. Very nice. Nama asks, what are your thoughts on Longley returning back to Spurs? I haven't seen anything about it. Would it happen? He definitely wouldn't be a starting defender, that's for sure. I mean, and we've got a good left-sided centre back in Mickey van der Ven, who's looking good already. James Maddison wins the ball, and he's brought. I mean, that has to be a yellow card. It has to be a yellow card. Look, I mean, James Maddison's away. That's a book. It's an easy booking. Aarons is just look at this foul from Max Aarons. He's rugby tackled James Maddison, and he's away. He's about to break into the box. So it's an opportunity here for Spurs late on in the half with this set piece. Second goal here for Tottenham would be fantastic. Maddison to deliver. Look at the tall timber he has to aim for here. Doggy, Van der Ven. Sorry, who else is there? Kulusevski. Looking to go direct. Richarlison at the far post. Couldn't get a goal. Overall, it's been a really positive half from Tottenham, man. Really, really positive. They're just going to keep this up in the second and they'll win this game easily. For Bournemouth, they need to try something different. First of all, for Bournemouth, they need to find a way to try and nullify this Spurs attack because it is causing them some problems. 5 minutes to go. Pedro Porro. Kluivert has looked like Bournemouth's most likely outlet this match so far. He's been good on that left wing. Nice play. Great work. Bissouma. Dude, I love Yves Bissouma. That was a fantastic turn. And no foul there. So, caught on the ball. Ryan Christie driving forward and shooting. And forcing a great save out of Vicario. Good opportunity for Bournemouth. Van der Ven. Dude, I mean, the guy's a beast. Fantastic. Fantastic. Here it is. Tottenham in possession. Fullback tucking in. Check it out. Pedro Porro, Doggy, coming central now. Brock says Richarlison needs a few more goals to his name. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's a player. I mean, I like Richarlison. I do like Richarlison. He's a player who I like. He's good. He's got good attributes. You know what I mean? He's tall. He's fast, and we know he can score goals. He's capable of scoring goals, dude. He is. Do you rate Emerson? I think he's all right. He sometimes gets a little bit of slack, but I think he's okay. That's right, yeah. Benny Kalola moved to Saudi Arabia, indeed. From Central Coast Mariners. Corner for Bournemouth. Late in the half. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel and help me continue to make content here, you can send through Super Chats. Super Chats go a huge way to help me continue to make content here on the channel. No worries, Boston. Enjoy the rest of your night, mate. Valhoon says Richarlison can score bangers, but has no luck. It's an interesting one, too, because like with the way that Tottenham play, as Rotherwell delivers the corner here for Bournemouth, with the way Spurs play, you'd think it would really like sort of suit Richarlison, and he would be able to sort of, get on the end of some nice moves from, you got Kulusevski and Son on the wings, and Maddison working his magic through the middle. There's players there to create for Richarlison, but for whatever reason, it hasn't worked out yet. I mean, I'm sure he will score a handful of goals this season. How many? I think to crack double digits would be okay. Interesting question, Nama. Which A-League player frustrates you the most when they play against Central Coast Mariners? Tell you what, when Mariners played Melbourne City a couple times last year, Matt Leckie was always a bit tricky. Geordie Boss, though. I mean, Geordie Boss was really, really tricky. He scored a great goal against Mariners last season. He was fantastic, man. No worries, Boston. Enjoy your weekend, man. Freshman asks, who do you think is the best player for Spurs right now? Best player for Spurs right now? Good question. Honestly, probably Basuma. I think Basuma's fantastic. Like right now, he's the way he conducts that midfield, so strong on the tackle. Already a couple times today, his turns have been fantastic. Finds the space, he's fantastic. Kulusevski. Cleaver for company. Still going, Dejan Kulusevski. Back for Pedro Porro. Tottenham continuing to build nicely here. Love that. Alex says, come on, Spurs, even though I go for Liverpool. You got to support Big Ange, though, hey. We love big old Uncle Ange. What a legend. There he is. There he is, a showman on the broadcast right now. Probably pretty happy with the way his team's playing. Would be hoping for more goals. Do you think Ange will do better than Conte? Yes, I definitely think so, honestly. I think the way it's going so far, the way he started his life at Tottenham, yeah, for sure. Hey, looks like we're going to have 5 minutes of injury time here. Make sure to stick around at halftime. We'll do a bit of a Q&A session. Chat about Premier League, A-League, Australia Cup has been going on at the moment as well. There were a few stoppages in the game. Injuries to Sarr, to Romero, who are all good now, though. Space for Basuma. Tottenham have found a lot of space in midfield this match. Here's Richarlison. Ooh, it's a heavy challenge from Kelly. And what's the referee going to do here? Was there contact? Yes. Referee says yes, and there's a yellow card for Lloyd Kelly. And the reason I sound a little bit unsure is because I want to have a look at this replay. Because it didn't appear to be that there was much contact. I don't know about that. Let's have a look at this replay. It'll be a bit better. I don't know, man. Dude, it's minimal at best. The contact is minimal at best. Well, free kick chance for Bournemouth here. Sorry, it's for Tottenham. Captain LF asks a good question. What state that doesn't have an A-League team that you would like to see have one? That doesn't have one? Probably Tasmania. Yeah, that makes the most sense, I reckon. Maddison. Delivery's all right. It's going to come to Basuma, who can't get the contact. Which state would obviously have to have an A-League side. I think Tasmania. I mean, the options are what? Tasmania, ACT, and Northern Territory. So I feel like Tassie's probably the way to go there. Griddle. We actually played Griddle early today, but at halftime, I'll bring it up and I'll show you my answers, and we can have a bit of a discussion around it. We did Griddle today, and very curious to see who you guys guessed in Griddle today. How's the weather looking at the game? Well, it was raining pretty heavy before in Bournemouth, but it appears to have cleared up. There was some sun. There was like a moment where like the sun was just beaming down for a minute. It doesn't appear to be raining still. Ryan Christie plays it wide. Under pressure there, Pedro Porro. Tottenham looking to defend out the final minutes of this half. 2 minutes to go. They do deserve to be leading in this match at the break. A couple of times there, the ball boy has stepped onto the field during play to get a ball. I don't know if that's protocol. In the box here, Bournemouth. Billing trying to get around. Goes down, and that will be a goal kick. Absolutely would love to see Canberra have a men's team for sure. Definitely. And it almost certainly will happen as well, as we heard earlier this year. I mean, the expectation is that Canberra and Auckland will be the two expansion clubs, which would be awesome, right? Two teams who we would love to see in the league. Canberra makes sense. There's already a Liberty A-League team there. Make sense to expand into the men's competition as well. And Auckland, I'm a big fan of the Auckland expansion, man. I mean, to have a New Zealand derby, that's a huge draw card. And it's a big city. It's one of the biggest cities in Australia and New Zealand combined. So it makes sense, I think. Impressive half from Tottenham. Could have had a couple more goals. It's going to be 1-0 at the break, though. Heung-min Son, a little bit worse for wear after that challenge. The rain has appeared to have ceased, but it is an overcast day in England today. Cleaver trying to hit one back. Billing. Oh, just flashes wide. And that was probably Bournemouth's best chance of the half. Philip Billings worked hard in midfield for Bournemouth. And that shot, well, I'll tell you what, that wasn't far away at all. It was almost curling in. And it's halftime over on the other side of the planet where this game's taking place from where I am right now. It is Bournemouth 0, Tottenham 1. Lovely stuff from Spurs. If you're a Spurs fan, you got to be happy. Mike says, no to Auckland. Australia interest should come first. I mean, like, the way I see it is like I totally understand that, because I think with the A-League it should either be like absolutely like fully Australia, or if we're gonna do the New Zealand thing, there should at least be a couple New Zealand teams. So I think because the fact we do already have Wellington Phoenix, it makes sense to have a second expansion team there. You know, to have, what have we got, like 12? Because with Canberra United, there's 12? Yeah, 12 total men's teams. No, sorry, 12 men's and women's. 12 total A-Leagues teams, and there's only one in New Zealand. So I think because of the fact that we do have a team in New Zealand, we might as well add one more. But I don't think there'll be another one for ages. But I'm sort of that opinion of that thought too, where it's like I would be open to. I mean, I don't know how Wellington Phoenix fans would feel about it, but like, I mean, who knows? New Zealand might get to the point where they'll just want to set up their own professional league, and Wellington Phoenix might disband from the A leagues. I don't know how that would work out. That probably wouldn't happen for a long, long time. But that could be interesting, and then it would just be like just an Australian league within Australia itself. I don't mind bringing in Wellington Phoenix. It's something different, incorporating them in the league. A New Zealand derby would be cool, though. It would be something really different. It would just have a different vibe to the A-League derbies, too. Auckland will use Mount Smart, says Valhoon. I mean, yeah, I would imagine so. That is where, for memory, that is where our New Zealand Knights played out of back in the day. Drogba says, Hotspur looking good under Ange. Indeed, they are. What a great half that was by Tottenham, leading 1-0 at the break. 2-0 win against Manchester United last week. The 2-2 draw with Brentford on the opening day. And hey, with no European football to worry about, it's looking pretty good for Tottenham. Man. So, I'll tell you what, Bournemouth weren't terrible in that half at all, though. They'll be looking to get themselves back into this game, that's for sure. Hey, let's have a look at what other games are coming up today in the Premier League. Some big ones as well. Of course, we already saw last night Chelsea defeating Luton Town 3-0. Important win there for Chelsea, their first win of the season. Coming up after this match, we've got Brentford vs Crystal Palace, Arsenal and Fulham, Manchester United hosting Nottingham Forest, and then Everton v Wolves. So that's 4 simultaneous matches straight after this one. And then later this evening, we have Brighton hosting West Ham. That should be a decent game. Brighton looking really good to start off the new season. Tomorrow we've got 3 games. We've got Sheffield United hosting Manchester City, Burnley host Aston Villa, and then a great game to finish off the match week in the Premier League. It's Newcastle United hosting Liverpool. What a game that'll be. That'll be a fantastic match. Really curious to see how that one pans out. 2 good sides, 2 class sides with many fantastic players, man. Should be good. Griddle, yeah, let's pop the griddle, man. Let's pop the griddle. Ollie with an interesting question. If the Mariners never existed, which A-League team would you support? Hey, good question, Ollie. That's a fascinating question. Well, I don't know. I'll tell you what. Well, geographically, the closest team to me is probably Newcastle Jets. I don't know if I would support Newcastle Jets. I would probably do something like support... I'll tell you who I probably would support is if they did have a men's team join is Canberra. But honestly, if not them, maybe Wanderers. And I'll tell you my logic. I mean, well, I don't know if the logic still applies here, but in the AFL, in Aussie rules football, I'm a GWS supporter. I'm the supporter of the Greater Western Sydney Giants. And that's simply because the Giants came into the competition when I started to follow the AFL a bit more. And the Giants sort of represent sort of like the regional area outside of sort of the Sydney of city. And I live on the Central Coast, which is sort of, we're a bit like that as well, just north of Sydney, sort of in the regional areas outside of Sydney. So I sort of almost identify a little bit, in terms of, I felt a bit more connected to what the Giants stand for as opposed to what the team in the city, Sydney Swans, stand for. So as crazy as it sounds, I mean, it's unimaginable. It would never happen. But if Mariners didn't exist, I probably would be a Wanderers fan. Which I can't believe I'm saying those words because that would never happen today. Okay, go Everton, says Drogba. Everton, very curious to see how they go, man. They need to get some sort of form going or something. Everton will be taking on Wolves today in the Premier League. A winnable game for Everton. I will say that. Valhoon says, come on, United. Peaches says, how is Wellington not the best team? The other A-League teams need to fight amongst each other for players, but Wellington have a whole country to select from. I guess for Peaches, it doesn't really work like that. I can see where the thought is going, but it doesn't quite work like that. Obviously, it's up to anyone, in terms of what players you want to have. There is, I mean, the biggest thing though is probably there's a bigger population base in Australia. And there's a lot of pathways for Australian players, probably more pathways than there are New Zealand. I say that with a asterisk. I'm not an expert when it comes to New Zealand football, so if there's any New Zealand football experts in here, please let me know how the New Zealand football system works. But yeah, it's there's certainly a large contingent of pathways and quality players in Australia. No worries, freshmen. Enjoy the rest of your night. Pichu says, still Sydney and Melbourne have like three teams in each state. But remember, Pichu, it's not just about, having players from your local area. Obviously that helps, if you're having like local academies and pathways with local teams. But obviously you can get players from anywhere in Australia. So even though if you're a team in Sydney, you could have a lot of players from Adelaide or from Perth or from Melbourne, or from overseas. So it's not just about population or sort of vicinity to other clubs. That doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the quality of your players. But I totally understand where you're going there with that thought, that's for sure. I know, right? Not Wanderers, hey. like it's I don't know. I can't see myself. I mean, maybe Newcastle. I don't know, dude. I just like even before the A-League started, I wasn't a Newcastle Knights fan, man. You know what I mean? That's right, Bailey. Mariners of Storm Roo. He's a New Zealander indeed. We love Storm. We love Stormy. So, they're showing us some of the chances in that first half on the halftime broadcast here. Richarlison, man. Couple good opportunities for Richarlison in this game. I mean, a few of Spurs' opportunities, especially after they took the lead, came from these like quick counter-attacks where they just got the ball forward fast, trying to get him behind. And Richarlison was on the end of some of those attacks. And, I mean, at this rate, he could get his first goal of the season today. Hopefully he will. But Ange Postecoglou should be happy with his performance up to this side. Let's have a look at the stats, dude. Bournemouth with 6 shots, 2 on target. Tottenham with 9 shots, 5 on target. Possession stats. Let's have a look here. Possession, pretty even, actually. Only 53% to Tottenham. Pretty even indeed. And again, like I'll say it again, like Bournemouth haven't been terrible at all. They've actually been really good. Fouls, look at that. Bournemouth with 10 fouls. Spurs with just the 4. Interesting. More corners though for Bournemouth. There is certainly a route back for Bournemouth, that's for sure. They are certainly still in this game. Can they find a route back? Who is your favourite player of all time? Asks Bailey. That is the ultimate question, Bailey, and I'm glad you asked it. Hey, well, look, you'll see behind me here, if I just move to my left, behind me here is a signed jersey from the 2013 A-League Grand Final, where the Central Coast Mariners won 2-0 over West Sydney Wanderers. And just there, where my finger is a Dutch defender by the name of Patrick Zwanswijk. I probably would still say now, is my favourite footballer of all time. I thought he was incredible. I thought he was amazing. He scored the first goal in that grand final with an incredible header, and I was behind the goal, and I watched it with my bare eyes, and it was incredible. He's just a legend. He was such a competitor, such a class defender, one of Mariners' best ever players. And in terms of who, like he's just the one I always go to for favorite player of all time. Love him. Hey, outside of that, I'm a huge Sam Kerr fan. Sam Kerr would be up there. I'm a big Tim Cahill fan as well. A lot of great memories with Tim Cahill, man. Growing up, seeing him scoring goals for the Socceroos. What a legend. One of my first sort of like World Cup memories is obviously the Tim Cahill double against Japan in 2006. Fantastic. Troy says, do we have any news on any new signings for us? Well, we had one today. We had Will Wilson join the Mariners from Melbourne Victory, which is a good signing. Troy says, also, did you hear that Boss had his appendix removed and will be unavailable to play for a long while, which is a shame. Indeed, it is a shame. And yes, I did hear that, which means he'll be unavailable for the Socceroos friendly against Mexico, which is only a couple weeks away. 2 weeks away, I believe, that friendly against Mexico. So, that's a blow for the Socceroos, a blow for Geordie Boss. Fair enough, Pichu. Pichu says, I don't know who plays in the Prem. Most games are at silly hours, so I don't generally watch games. They are at silly hours, indeed. Valhoon says, imagine if Fury and Gold Coast were still in the A-League. Imagine that. I wish they were. I wish they were. And that reminds me, I've got to pull up the griddle. We're gonna have a look at my griddle guesses from today. This is how we went in griddle. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at my griddle performance today. It's not the best. This is how we did in griddle today, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we did in griddle. So griddle, for those that don't know, is the A-League trivia game, the A-League player guessing game. And there was I got stumped. I got stumped big time. How did you guys go in griddle today? For the middle, first of all, talk about the ones I got wrong. I mean, I got Jacopo Loroca. I was like, he'd play. I was under the impression that Jacopo Loroca played like at least 3 or 4 seasons at Wanderers, and I was like, surely he had 40 plus wins. Only 27. But I tell you what, there was only 3 players who had 40 wins for Wanderers, 40 plus. Mark Bridge, Nikolai Topper-Stanley, Brendan Santalab. Topper-Stanley is the one that I was tossing up with. I should have gone for him, man. Should have gone for Topper-Stanley. And then I went Besart Berisha for 10 plus finals games and over the age of 30. Besart Berisha was 26. 26 when he made his debut. Troy had 6. There you go. It was a tricky one, wasn't it? It was. Only 4 players have made their A-League debut over the age of 30 and have played at least 10 finals games. Clint Bolton, Sasha Petrovsky, Ante Kovic, and Carl Valeri. Some tricky picks there. Some throwbacks, especially with Petrovsky and Bolton. Tricky. I don't think I would have thought of any of those players. I mean, seeing it now, I'm like, oh yes, of course. Like, I do remember all those guys playing plenty of games. Especially Clint Bolton. He was involved in many finals matches for Sydney FC in those early seasons. Carl Valeri is actually an interesting one. Carl Valeri, I didn't realize he'd played that many finals games for Victory. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Bailey struggled as well. Dude, it was tricky, wasn't it, man? Troy says, I had Sturridge top left and Schneiderlin top middle. Nice, yeah. Both would have worked for sure as well. Absolutely. Those ones were a bit easier, the 30 plus. There's a lot of players there for both Perth and Wanderers. As the teams are back out on the pitch, and it's yet again raining in Bournemouth. All right. Second half. Can Tottenham seal 3 points once again here against Bournemouth in the Premier League? Matthew, how's it going, Matt? How's it going, man? I'm going to read your comment in just a sec. First of all, let's hit the timer because the second half is about to get underway here in Bournemouth. Referee was the last one to arrive on the pitch. Here he is running out now. Matthew says, I know Will Wilson just signed for the Mariners today out of left field. Any more crazy Mariners signings you think will look to happen or you'd like to happen in the next 8 weeks? Interesting question, Matt. I think if we do sign someone, overall I'm pretty happy with how the squad's looking. Maybe another wide player, and maybe another defender. Aside from that, I think we're pretty solid. I don't even think there's a chance that Mariners won't make any more signings, and even if that's the case, I'd be okay with that. I think I would be okay with that. It is looking pretty solid, and there's some good young players coming through from Mariners. But I will say I do love the signing of Will Wilson. A needed signing too. We needed to sign another midfielder, especially knowing we have Asian football coming up. You need a deep squad when you're juggling A-League football and Asian football. Second half's back and away, by the way. Looks like Bournemouth have made a change. Lewis Cook is onto the pitch to play in the centre of midfield for the home team. Peachy says Kovic was was a god in that ACL win in 2014. Absolutely. I mean, that's probably what he's most well known for in Australia. Hey, that fantastic ACL win. Almost a decade ago. Isn't that crazy to think that was almost 10 years ago? When Ante Kovic helped Western Sydney Wanderers win the Asian Champions League. And now with a lot of the Saudi Arabia teams recruiting some world-class talent, it's made it even more difficult for an Australian side to win the competition. I will say, though, hey, I'm very excited for the Asian Champions League and AFC Cup this year. We've got 3 A-League teams involved all up. Curious to see how Melbourne City go. I think there's a chance they could have a decent run. They've put together a pretty solid squad. And curious to see how they go. It'd be great to see them do well, man. It would be good. When it comes to Asian football, like in the A-Leagues, obviously, we're rivals with the other teams. But I'm barracking for the Australian teams in the Asian Champions League and AFC Cup. For sure. Here come Bournemouth driving forward. Clearvert, decent run. Cleared away by Pedro Porro. Wally says, we need another Queensland team in the A-League, though. I agree with you, though. Another Queensland team makes sense. For me, that's after Canberra, Auckland, that's the next one, for sure. For sure. I mean, you look at the population in Queensland, you look at some of the areas of expansion, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, North Queensland, even another Brisbane team. There's options. You know, you could have two. You could have another 2 expansion teams in Queensland if you wanted to. And isn't it crazy to think that once upon a time we did have 3 Queensland teams in Brisbane Roar, Gold Coast United, and North Queensland Fury? Will it happen once again? Probably not for a long time, but I think we will see maybe one more Queensland side added, hopefully within the next several years. Fingers crossed. Bournemouth looking to get forward, starting this second half brightly. Tottenham defended pretty resolutely, though, in that first half. And Ange will be adamant that his team must keep a clean sheet here. While it is all about the attack for Spurs, it's important that they try to shore things up at the back. Gabe Stars here. How's it going, Gabe Star? Peter says, we're never going to win the ACL again, possibly with the Asian Cup. Good luck with the New South Wales teams. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that we'll never win an ACL ever again. You know, there's always a chance. It might not happen for a while, though. Heavy challenge from Sarr on Billing. Free kick for Bournemouth in a great position. Was that a foul? Yep. Yeah, definitely a foul there from Son. Just a little bit too strong there from Sarr on Billing. So, chance here for Bournemouth to equalise. Two players standing over it. It's going to be Cook to deliver. Decent delivery. Tottenham should clear here. And the doggy will try and get this clear. Under pressure, though. Free kick. As it stands, Tottenham will be top of the Premier League. Of course, many games to come up this week, as we know. But it'll be a very positive result for Tottenham, who, as it stands, have scored 5 goals in 3 games. They only conceded 2. Those 2 came in the first match week against Brentford away. Hey, Spencer's here. No worries, Spencer. No worries, man. Appreciate you jumping in now, though. So super proud of the Brizzy boys and loving some good old Ange ball. Hope you're doing well, bro. Spencer, doing very well, man. Thanks for jumping in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. And Spencer, you must be happy with Brisbane Roar. That big result today, 5-0 against Sydney United. They were seriously impressive, man. We were live for that Brisbane watch along against Sydney United. 5-0. it wasn't just for the result, but the way they went about it. They played so well. It was a very complete performance from Brisbane Roar. I'll tell you what, in attack, it was almost reminiscent of Spurs. The fluidity, the combinations. It was very attractive to watch. It was beautiful football. Yeah, I'm excited for Brisbane, man. I'm excited for Brisbane. Matthew says, over the past couple of weeks, Newcastle have been rumoured to sign Clayton Silvera and Jason Botemir. Thoughts? The Jason one I've heard of. The first one doesn't ring a bell, though. Clayton Silvera, is that like... That sounds like... I know they signed Clayton Taylor, and then there's Sammy Silvera. Is that like one guy? I'm having a little Google now. Clayton de Silva, 27-year-old from Brazil. Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what, last time Newcastle signed a Brazilian, it worked out pretty well, didn't it? With Daniel Pena. Up the Raw says Valhoon, and Up the Raw says Ollie as well. Spencer says, Waddingham definitely a must-watch this season. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. He was okay in the game. He had a couple shaky moments early on, but once he got his goal, he really started to settle into the game, Thomas Waddingham. Scored with a fantastic header. Could be a big season as well for Thomas Waddingham because, I mean, he's literally, Ross Aloisi said it after the game, he's their only striker. Brisbane Roar have one striker right now, and that is Thomas Waddingham, who's only just come up from the academy. So there's a lot of pressure on the young lad, but good for him to get his first goal in the senior team today. And what a header it was for him. Free kick opportunity here. Christie goes short for Cook. Wide. Kulusevski sliding in for the ball and winning it wonderfully well. Spurs can counter-attack here. Bournemouth getting numbers back quickly, though. Nice pass inside. Pedro Porro. The space is opening up. Richarlison slips on the ball. He's having the worst luck, and he's lashed out. Well, that was really, really silly from Richarlison. He's going to pick up a yellow card. Oh, my gosh, dude. He's struggling at the minute, isn't he? Richarlison. It's not going his way. Ollie, that is often the case. Ollie says, is it just me, or a lot of your fans also Brisbane Roar fans? I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's great. It's a lot of people from Queensland tune in, man, which is cool. Matthew asks, will Adelaide do any business? It's a good question, Matthew. I don't think so. I think Adelaide will only do business for me if Louis Dorigo does indeed depart the club. He's Solanke for Bournemouth, so close for them. Still on here for Bournemouth. We're going to come back to that Adelaide discussion in a second here. Aaron's inside for Christie. Van der Ven cuts it out. I don't know if Adelaide will do business. They just haven't lost many players at all, so they haven't really had to change things around. So the key one, though, is Louis Dorigo if he leaves. I think they will look to bring someone in because, they've already lost one day as well, so I think they would try to bring someone else in. But, yeah, it's an interesting one. There's always, one or two A-League teams where, they just barely make any changes, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? That's right. Coast Watch and Brisbane Football. Maybe we should create a separate YouTube channel that's exclusively Brisbane Roar content. Even though I'm not even a Brisbane Roar fan. It was a nice turn from Solanke earlier there. He had a good opportunity for Bournemouth. Rainy afternoon in Bournemouth, England, on the south coast of the UK. Vicario, risky, a little fast, but it was good. It worked out. And look at the space here, Pedro. And they've broken past the press. See, when you break past that initial line of press, look at the space here. Pedro Porro, now Madison. Into the feet of Richarlison. He's closed down. Richarlison still not quite working out for him. Bournemouth. Nicely done. Solanke plays it wide for Christie. Ryan Christie comes in field. Brings his teammates into it. Bournemouth trying to step it up here, trying to find a way to break through this Tottenham Hotspur team. Here comes Richarlison on the counter-attack. The pass, dude. I'm sorry. Richarlison's having a really poor game. I mean, that should have been an easy pass there for the Brazilian striker. And he's just kicked it straight into an opponent. I mean, he's down on his luck, the Brazilian. He's basically the only recognised striker at the club now that Harry Kane's departed. What can Richarlison do? What can he do? I'm backing Richarlison, man. I'm a Richarlison supporter. I want to see him do well in the Premier League for Tottenham. As the shot comes in from Bournemouth and it's just gone wide. Semenyo with a superb effort that just flashes one. What a chance. Nervy moment there for Spurs at the back. Richarlison seems really annoyed, says Ollie. He does. He looks frustrated. And I wonder how long until he does get subbed off because he is struggling today, once again. Matthew says, love Sydney taking faith in youth, but will a Lafondra replacement be bought? Teams like Melbourne City, Central Coast strengthening. Sydney? It's a good question. And look, this might be a situation where Patrick Wood, who has sort of been the deputy striker to Lafondra, might be promoted to that starting striker. Good chance there for Bournemouth. Pedro Porro makes the block, though. Hey, look, I feel like Sydney still will sign a striker, maybe later on in the window. But hey, look, if they do stick with Patrick Wood, I think it's okay. I think Patrick Wood is a decent striker, but I think a club the size of Sydney FC, I think they will look to make a big signing there up top. I'd expect that, yeah. Bournemouth corner. Well, look at this. Even Perisic is preparing to come on here for Tottenham, and I tell you what, I would not be surprised if Richarlison is the player to be coming off in his place. Looks like the changes will be made here for Tottenham Hotspur. Is it Richarlison to depart? It's Sarr who's coming off. He's the first one coming off. Papamata Sarr played well today. Had a hand in the goal with the fantastic assist for James Maddison. So even Perisic is onto the field. And Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is coming on as well for Tottenham. Experienced Danish midfielder. And Richarlison is coming off. So Richarlison's off. Another tricky day at the office for Richarlison. Just didn't go his way too many times. It just didn't quite work out for him. Some wayward passes, slipping on the ball, heavy touches. And again, I think he's got a lot of talent, Richarlison, man. For whatever reason, it's not quite working out for him at Tottenham. Hey, Andrew, how's it going, man? Good to see you here. Changes as well for Bournemouth here. It's going to be Anthony's coming on, the winger, to replace Kluivert, who's worked hard on that left wing. Valiant says, I feel sorry for if anyone has Richarlison in FPL. Well, I mean, to be honest, with the form that he has at the moment, I'd be surprised if many people have him in their FPL teams, to be fair. An hour of football has been played as the sun starts to come out now at the stadium. And it's Bournemouth 0, Tottenham 1, courtesy of a first half strike from James Maddison. Maddison currently under pressure here. Moro committing the foul. He's not happy with it. Well, Bournemouth, I mean, we gotta give credit to Bournemouth here. They've started this, I don't know if that's a foul. There was not a lot of illegal infringement there from the Bournemouth player. Bournemouth, though, have started this second half really well. They have looked bright. They've looked competitive. They've looked strong. And Tottenham haven't had much going forward. Here's Perisic with his first touch. So Heung-min Son is currently playing as the striker for Tottenham through the middle. Even Perisic on that left wing. Højbjerg now into that midfield where Sarr was playing. Perisic off the left. Nice play. Doggy for Son. Closed down quickly. There's Bissouma winning it back for Spurs. And Bissouma for Son. Oh, should have shot there. Here's Kulusevski. Oh, dude, Son. Son was just on his heels. Oh, well, Son should have shot. And then he chose to pass and he didn't back it up with a 1-2. Good opportunity there. Second goal might just seal it here for Tottenham the way this game's going. They've defended well, Spurs. Good forward pass here. Maddison, great chance here for Spurs if Maddison can break through. Wide for Pedro Porro. Højbjerg. Spurs will go backwards here. Nice little spell of possession here for Tottenham. After surviving the Bournemouth onslaught early on in the second half. Doggy cutting inside. Doggy still into the box. 1-2 with Son is delightful. Doggy keeps it in. Kulusevski! 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ange Ball. And Tottenham Hotspur might have just sealed 3 points with Dejan Kulusevski's first goal of the season. Celebrating in front of the away travelling fans there. Wonderfully worked. The give and go. Udogie was fantastic. And Kulusevski sneaking in. He was the first one to get to that. Snuck in ahead of everyone. Udogie, was he off? No, that looked onside to my eyes. It was close though. VAR, of course, will be checking that. But he looked onside, and then the give and go with Son was delightful. And Udogie definitely kept that in play. And Kulusevski, I mean, what a finish! Chris says it as well. That's right, Christopher. Brilliant finish indeed. Kulusevski sneaking in. And how good is that? Just like delightfully just off the boot. Side of the boot. Off his heel almost. And just spinning into that far corner. You love it. Delightful finish. It's Tottenham 2. It's Bournemouth 0. As it stands, Spurs are sitting top of the Premier League. Of course, plenty of games to come at this match week. But 7 points. 7 points for Tottenham in the opening 3 fixtures is not a bad start at all. That's all. Dejan Kulusevski, the Swedish winger, gets his first goal of the campaign as well. Ange Ball indeed. Ange Ball. We love Ange Ball. Uncle Ange tearing it up in the Premier League. And his team are playing attractive and attacking football, and the Spurs fans are absolutely loving it. Still plenty of time to go. Still a lot of football to be played tonight. Bournemouth, who have been second best, still have an opportunity to get themselves into this game. Some more space opening up in midfield, though. Maddison looking to feed it through for Son, who's trying to get him behind. Son driven wide. Perisic in support. Can they find number 3? Perisic delivers. Headed away. Nervy moments for Bournemouth at the back. That can't be a foul. Surely not. It's not. Well done, referees. It was a pretty blatant dive there from Anthony. Van der Ven, nice move from Mickey Van der Ven. Gets it wide here for Perisic. Down the line for Udogie. Still on here, Udogie inside for Perisic. The give and go. Udogie looking to keep going here, and that will probably be a foul. It is committed by the Spurs left back. Tottenham fans loving life at the moment, man. Loving life under Ange Postecoglou. Playing good football. Whereas for Bournemouth, they're looking for a way back in, and they might be able to find it here. Their shot on target is straight into the feet of Vicario. And there will be a stoppage here. There is a Tottenham player down injured. By the looks of things. Well, some serious complaints here. So, Mickey van der Ven. So, Son, who's the captain, is speaking with the referee. So, what's happened? Oh, there's an elbow. There is an elbow from Dominic Solanke on Van der Ven. And surely play has to be stopped there for an head injury. And the referee's continuing conversations with Son. I mean, Van der Ven copped an elbow to the head. With a potential head injury like that, you got to stop play immediately, right? Ollie says, next few games starting in about an hour. Absolutely right there, Ollie. Not long to go until 4 Premier League games kick off after this one again. Let's double check what were those Premier League games once again. We had Everton, Wolves, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, Fulham, and Brentford, Crystal Palace. 4 pretty intriguing matches there. Will you guys be tuning into any of those? Let me know. Big games. Big games indeed. Arsenal Fulham should be pretty interesting. A lot of people keen to see how Manchester United fare against Nottingham Forest. Here's Maddison. A slip from Aarons has allowed Perisic to gain possession. Son, Højbjerg, Spurs building nicely. Bournemouth finally do get it clear, though. But, dude, every time Tottenham get forward, they look good. They look dangerous, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Spencer, just noticed I haven't done griddle. Spence, I'm curious to see how you go. I'm curious to see how you go on griddle today. It was a tricky one. I faltered a couple times. I'm curious to see how you go. There was a couple of tricky squares in griddle today. Couple of changes made by both sides already up to this point. Enough time for Bournemouth to grab a couple of goals back, but they got to start getting themselves on the ball first, trying to change things around. Ruben got 8 on griddle today. Very nice. Missed top right. Oh, dude, so you got the middle one? That was the tricky one for me. Here's Maddison. Oh, just wide. James Maddison. Son was asking for the delivery. Not too far away from James Maddison. Bournemouth. Moving down the left wing. Anthony, the substitute. Blocked for a throw-in. Dude, Ruben. Hey, Ruben, I'm just curious. What did you get for the middle square? Because there was like 3 options. And I missed all of them. Delivery from Anthony. He's not bad. He's going to miss everyone. Nice. Oh, nice. Lovely backheel there from Ivan Perisic. Nice turn from Van der Ven. Max Aarons has gone down here. Is it a foul or has play just been stopped? There was a little bit of wrestling off the ball between Perisic and Aarons, and Aarons has gone down holding his head. Let's have a look at this replay here. What happened here? So there's a bit of push and shove. A bit of a hand to the face of Maxi Aarons. Bit of a push to the face. It didn't look like much. Anyway, it will be a free kick and, in fact, a yellow card to Ivan Perisic. There you go. What time do you normally go to sleep? Interesting question. I mean, after this, it'll probably be soon after this game finishes, to be fair. I probably won't stay up for the other games afterwards. The other games will be kicking off at midnight, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Oh, they're checking red card here, dude. They are checking for a red card here on Ivan Perisic. I don't know if there is enough to constitute a red card there. I don't think that's enough to constitute a red card. I mean, there's a bit of push and they're just wrestling together. There's a bit of push and pull with the shirt. I don't think there's enough. I mean, what do you guys think? I don't think there's enough to constitute a red card there. That's really reaching. You know what I mean? Like, unless there's like clear evidence of some foul play there, some serious foul play, I don't think you can pull a red card out of that. Anyway, we're going to be playing on. Lewis Cook delivers for Bournemouth towards Billing, and he finds Billing, who chips it in with no one there. Well done, Højbjerg gets it back under pressure. Went for Topper Stanley in the middle. Dude, well done for getting that. He's a name that I thought of, but I was like, oh, I don't know if he was there for long enough. But he was there for a few years, of course. Nikolai Topper Stanley at Western Sydney Wanderers. Charlie, how's it going, Charlie? Asks, what do you think of the Brisbane match? Dude, fantastic performance from Brisbane Roar. They were so impressive in that 5-0 win. We did a live watch-along for the match. We were live earlier today for the Brisbane 5-0 win against Sydney United in the Cup. Incredible performance from Brisbane, a team who looked rejuvenated and re-energized under new coach Ross Aloisi. It was really, really impressive, man. Really, really impressive from Brisbane. So I'm excited to see how they go in the A-League, because if they can play like that in the A-League, they'll do it right. That's for sure. So some more substitutions in this game. It's going to be James Maddison coming off. He scored the first goal. Worked very hard, James Maddison. Going to be interesting to see who's coming on. Is it Ollie Skip? I think it is Ollie Skip coming on. And Gio Lo Celso looks like he's set to be entering the field, as well as the rain continues to stream down here. Basuma's off as well, so Lo Celso will be sort of replacing Maddison in that creative role. The Argentine midfielder who has spent some time out on loan in recent seasons at Spurs, looking to find a new lease of life at Tottenham under new coach Ange Postecoglou. Christopher says, should be a good game tomorrow. City v Wellington. Absolutely. And we're going to be live for that one tomorrow as well. Our next live stream is tomorrow, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, for Melbourne City versus Wellington. Should be a cracking game. An all A-League matchup in the Australia Cup round of 16. Very, very excited for that one. So, yeah, if you're available, make sure you join us here on the channel tomorrow, Arvo, for some Sunday afternoon football. Love it, man. Love it. So, Højbjerg does well on the floor to get that one away. He's worked hard since coming off the bench. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Oliver Skip off the bench as well and looking to get himself involved. Hard-working midfield player. Lineup news coming up for the other games as well, as you can see here on the broadcast. 4 games coming up in just under an hour. Richarlison has departed the field. Yes, Richarlison is no longer on the field. Yeah, he came off around the hour mark for Perisic. Yeah, he was struggling. He was struggling tonight, Richarlison, unfortunately. Nama asks, do you think Monty cares about the CCM team after they won the A-League? Of course. Yes, of course. Absolutely. I'd be shocked if any coach didn't care about their team. Of course. $15 minutes to go in regular time. Bournemouth 0. Tottenham 2. Bournemouth are running out of time to rescue a result from this match. Nice forward pass here for Solanke, but Mickey van der Ven with a great challenge. Still coming forward here, though, Bournemouth. Nice play down the left. And Van der Ven again gets that clear. He's played well today, Mickey van der Ven for Tottenham. The rain coming down heavy here in Bournemouth on the south coast of England. Bournemouth now getting players forward here, shifting the team high up the park, forcing Tottenham to sit a little bit deeper. Tottenham trying to hold on to this clean sheet, hold on to this victory. Kulusevski can counter-attack here down the right. Nicely done. And he'll look to release Heung-min Son. Challenge comes in. Son's still in possession. Looking to get a delivery in. Kulusevski should get the ball here. Look at the rain is bucketing down here in Bournemouth. Still we play. Tottenham, edge of the box. Lo Celso. For a doggy. Lo Celso linking up play. And Tottenham back in control. A lot of passes here from Tottenham. That's a great one from Højbjerg into the feet of Lo Celso. A little bit of space here for Spurs. And almost a corner. Bournemouth back in possession. Who do Spurs have next week? I actually don't even know. Let's have a look. Who do Spurs have next week in the Premier League? Well, before they have the next Premier League fixture, they will have a cup fixture. EFL Cup second round. Away to Fulham. Tottenham have the midweek matchup against Fulham. The next Premier League fixture is next week. Away to Burnley. So a few consecutive away fixtures for Spurs this week, before returning home after the international break to host Sheffield United. Then after that, they have a tricky pair of games. They've got an away North London derby against Arsenal on the 24th of September. And then a week after that, it's a home against Liverpool. At home against Liverpool. So, some interesting fixtures. Spence got 8 out of 9 in Griddle. Not bad, man. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Doggy's just gone down here off the ball. Hopefully he's all right. Charlie asks, thoughts on the new Central Coast Mariners signing from Victory? Fantastic signing. Love it. Really, really good deal. Will Wilson was one of the best young players at Victory. I'm shocked that they let him go. You'd imagine he's going to flourish at Central Coast Mariners. It's a good signing for Mariners as well. They needed to strengthen the midfield area, especially now that they're playing in the AFC Cup. Juggling the A-League and Asian football is going to be tricky, so they needed a bit more depth in midfield. So it's a great signing for Mariners. Speaking of Asian football, Mariners, Nama says Central Coast Mariners' goal should be to win the AFC Cup. It would be great. It would be absolutely awesome. Let's hope so. Hopefully we can go as far as possible. I think to make it out of the knockout stage is definitely a realistic goal. And we'll see where we go from there. Thanks for that. Ollie as well was mentioning the next fixture. Yeah, Burnley v Tottenham is the next Premier League fixture next week for Spurs. Yes, Charlie. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the stream about really horrible incident indeed regarding Iran Kunda. Glad to hear that he is okay now. So hopefully he is all good, man. Because we're just glad. I mean, that apparently the referee was a doctor and was able to assist in these situations. So it's good that he's okay. So it's an interesting one for Tottenham. I mean, when you look at the schedule, I mean, it's so much more clearer compared to some of the other teams. The fact that they don't have that European football, it's going to be much more easier for them. The squad will hopefully stay fit for Ange. 10 minutes to go, but with this injury stoppage here, we're probably going to have a decent chunk of injury time. So, next two Premier League fixtures being Burnley away, Sheffield United at home, should be wins for Tottenham based on the way they're going. And they'll need some wins heading into after that because they're heading into fixtures against Arsenal and Liverpool, which will be tough. And that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be so fascinating to watch how Spurs go against Arsenal, against Liverpool, two of the top teams in the league, of course. Did Will Wilson score the penalty against the Jets? I believe so. In the cup, right? Yeah. I believe he did. Yeah, and he got some decent minutes in the league as well for victory last year. He's a fantastic midfielder. So, we'll probably have a pretty extensive injury time period, I'd imagine. Are there more goals in this one? By the way, Udogie has come off. Ben Davis is on to replace him at left back. Perisic looking for a massive switch of play to Kulusevski and finds him. Nicely done. Nicely done there. Oh, missed that receival there. Skip. Oh, well done there. Romero jumping in to intercept. Tottenham just controlling the ball now. Ollie says Burnley are still yet to play a second match until 11 p.m. tomorrow. Who have they got as well tomorrow? Burnley. That's right, Aston Villa tomorrow, don't they? Aston Villa for Burnley tomorrow. That's right. A couple of weeks since they last played a fixture, they lost 3-0 to Manchester City in the first fixture of the season. It is absolutely bucketing down at this game, man. It is so heavy. You can see the rain clearly. Pedro Porro looking for a shot. Blocked. It is coming down with rain right now, man. Forward play by Bournemouth. It's getting to desperate stages here. Nama asks, what happened to Matt Acton? He didn't play against Jets and Sydney United. Good question. I would imagine he's potentially carrying an injury. Yeah, it was Lachlan Duke who was the backup keeper for Brisbane in those two cup games so far. So potentially just carrying an injury, I'd imagine. We'll see though. No worries, Valhoon. Enjoy the United game, man. It's should be a good one against Nottingham Forest. Should be a win, you'd imagine, for Manchester United, but yeah, you never know with United. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the stream, if you want to support the channel, you can consider sending through a super chat. They go a long way to help me to continue making content here on the channel. And greatly appreciate you guys just tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this first ever live watch along on the Coast Watch Football YouTube channel. I've been really keen to sort of expand into more content, and especially the Premier League stuff, which is a lot of fun. Looks like it's going to be one more change here for Bournemouth. Kiefer Moore, the Welsh striker, set to come on to the park. Vicario dangerous at the back for Spurs, but he can get that clear. Oliver Skip, there's that space again. It's been a common theme in this match. Spurs finding the space. Lo Celso, Perisic. Third goal would seal it. Højbjerg for Kulusevski. Kulusevski's had a good game today off that right wing. Cutting in. Nice pass. Lo Celso. Son. Good area. Son shoots. It's way off target, dude. Bit of an uncharacteristically poor effort on target there from Son. Off target, rather. Nowhere near the target from Heung-min Son. He's played well as well tonight, though. And really seems to be settling into his role pretty well as the new captain of Tottenham Hotspur. Kiefer Moore's onto the pitch for the final stages of this game. Charlie says, unpopular opinion, Vitality Stadium is an absolutely beautiful stadium. Hey, look, it's nice. It's obviously one of the smallest stadiums in the league. It's not bad, eh? It's a cool little stadium. It's really nice. What's the capacity here at this stadium? It's not a lot. It's not a lot, isn't it? It's like 12,000 or something? 11,000? 12,000? Which is very small when it comes to Premier League standards. Nama says Luton Town Stadium is better. Delivery here for Bournemouth. Goes wide. Solanke has struggled up top for Bournemouth today. Hasn't quite found the chances to score. There you go. There's a shot of Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy watching on from the sidelines. Probably happy with how his head coach is performing at the moment. Ange Postecoglou leading his Spurs side to his second consecutive victory. 3 games undefeated. And as it stands right now, Tottenham are top of the Premier League, which Spurs fans will relish that. Ollie says Bournemouth's Vitality Stadium was the smallest stadium in the Premier League until Luton joined. Still yet to play a game at that stadium, so it's still Bournemouth's record, I believe, yeah. When do Luton have their first game? When do Luton Town have their first game? Surely that's soon, right? I know that they're still working on it, right, to get it ready for the Premier League. But it must be soon, surely, right? They're having to play away fixtures in the early parts of the season. Next game for Luton Town's at home. Let's have a look. Indeed it is, by the looks of things. They host West Ham. Luton Town hosting West Ham on the 2nd of September, Australian time. Chance here for Spurs. Perisic let that one run. Maybe should have had a shot there instead. Spurs look set to hold on to 3 points here. Not a lot of time left. Son goes down under a challenge. It's going to be a free kick. Thanks for that, Charlie, as well. Thanks for that, Nama, against West Ham next week. That'll be a big occasion for Luton Town, man. Fantastic for them to be back in the Premier League. Free kick opportunity for Tottenham. Pedro Porro, Ivan Perisic standing over this one. Højbjerg is there as well. Bournemouth are preparing a 4-man wall with the player lying down at the bottom. It's Lewis Cook who's lying down, trying to block that little gap at the bottom where the players jump. Pedro Porro, straight into the wall. And again, just wide. Good game today. Once again, Pedro Porro looks like he's well and truly locked down that right back position ahead of Emerson Royale. Emerson, I believe, started that first game, right? He started the first game away to Brentford. Now, Pedro Porro started the last couple of games. Here comes Bournemouth still. Well done, Ollie Skip. And that should be a free kick. The way of Spurs with 8 minutes of injury time. 8 minutes, 1 minute of that. 8 already played, so 7 minutes left for Bournemouth to make a miraculous comeback here. But Spurs look set to secure another 3 points here. Fantastic. Choices, comfortable performance from Spurs, which is good. Need another striker. Obviously, can't expect Kulusevski and Richarlison to do it alone. Absolutely right, Troy. I think what we've learned in these first 3 games for Tottenham is that they do need to sign another striker. I don't know if Richarlison is really cut out for this role right now in this team. It hasn't quite worked out for him. So, hey, who do they sign? Who's on the market? Where do they look? It's interesting. Nama says Amor Layuni, after leaving Western United, has scored 6 goals in all competitions for his new club. There you go. Amor Layuni. Big loss for the A-League. There was a lot of talk. I remember, at the end of last season, there was some talk of him going to Melbourne City, and there was some dramas around contracts and stuff like that, and we're hearing rumours floating around on the social media platforms. It would have been great to have Layuni in the A-League once again. He was so good for Wanderers last year. And, he wasn't even here for the full year, was he? He was only here, he arrived in January. But Ian Hill, he's more of a winger. He's not really a striking option for me. So, yeah, we're going to need to look at someone else, I think, as a striker for Tottenham Hotspur, bringing someone in. I don't mind Richarlison. But, who knows? Maybe we can get him, get him going soon enough. Get him scoring goals. But I guess the thing is as well is that it's even if he's not scoring goals, it's not the most concerning thing because the goals are coming from other areas of the pitch, Like Maddison scoring today, Kulusevski with the second goal, Well done. Oh, Mickey van der Ven has been unbelievable tonight. Van der Ven has been incredible in centre-back for Tottenham Hotspur tonight. Cutting out everything. Superb. What about J-Mac? That's right. Imagine that. Imagine J-Mac. Ange, got the Ange link there. Ange Postecoglou, Jamie McLaren, make it happen. I'll tell you what, in all seriousness, I reckon Jamie McLaren would bag some goals in the Premier League for sure. Legit. I especially surrounded by this quality Spurs side. Yeah, for sure. He would bag some goals for sure, man. 8 minutes of injury time total. Oh, interesting. Ollie says, what if you put Maddison in strike and Richarlison in midfield? Interesting suggestion there, Ollie. I don't know if I'd want to pull Maddison out of that current position. Where he's playing in that midfield 3, it really suits him. He's got a lot of freedom in that position. And I wouldn't want to take him out of there because the way he's linking play together, is really, 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 really nice. How did you do on Griddle? I got 9 out of 9. Charlie, you got 9 out of 9. You are the first person I've heard who has got 9 out of 9 on Griddle. I got 7 out of 9. Charlie, who did you guess for the middle one? Who did you guess for the middle one? That was the one that stumped me. And even the top right one, actually. Actually, the top right one was a tricky one as well. Perisic for Tottenham. Kulusevski in the box. Can they get the shot off? Davis! Just wide. Ben Davis. Great opportunity for him. Oh, that should have been number 3, man. What a chance. Just had to keep that shot down. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, how did you go for that top right square as well? That was the tricky one that stumped me as well. Troy says typical English weather for this game. It's been weird. It's been rain. Look at the sun. Dude, the sun's belting out now to finish off this match. The sun's well and truly out. Here's a chance for Bournemouth. Moore gets it inside, but there's Davis to get it clear. Højbjerg, once again, space in midfield. It's Bournemouth really need to try and clean up this space that they're leaving vacant in midfield. Perisic, nicely worked. Perisic, just wide. Well, Tottenham will be disappointed that they haven't found goal number 3 tonight. Wow. Charlie went Santalab middle, and top right was Kovic. Very nice, Charlie. Very nice indeed. Those were just some tricky squares. I went Jacopo La Rocca for the middle one. I thought surely you'd had at least 40 wins, but I slipped on that. Min Son concedes throw. Couple minutes to go here. Don't forget, we're going to be live tomorrow for the live watch along of Melbourne City v Wellington Phoenix. That kicks off in about 15 hours. In about 15 hours. Melbourne City, Wellington Phoenix. 2 A-League teams meeting in the Australia Cup round of 16. It's kicking off at 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So join us live on YouTube for the watch party of that one. This has been a very enjoyable Premier League watch along tonight. Great to see my Spurs get the win here tonight. Bournemouth looking for a consolation goal here. Solanke in the box. Playing it back. And Anthony goes well over the bar there with his strike. 1 minute to go. Great result for Tottenham. Currently sitting top of the Premier League ladder. Obviously, plenty of games to come up this weekend, though. Charlie says I'm a Wanderer, so the middle one was easy. Fair enough. Yes. Fair enough. I think you would have had to be a Wanderers fan to get that one. Nikolai Topper-Stanley was the one I was thinking of. Definitely should have gone for that option. Spurs play Fulham in the Cup midweek and then have Burnley away next week. Followed up by a fixture against Sheffield United. Winnable games for Tottenham Hotspur coming up. Great start to the season for Ange Postecoglou and Tottenham Hotspur. Bournemouth still looking for their first win of the season. That's full time. Comprehensive performance from Tottenham. Comfortable in the end. Ange ball is here. And it is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. So awesome to see an Aussie succeeding in the Premier League like Ange is here. Spurs fans are loving it. The players are loving it. And, man, the fans over here in Australia are loving it here as well. Aussies are loving seeing Ange do so well over here. Fantastic. Tottenham too. Bournemouth nil. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. We're going to be live tomorrow for the live watch-along of Melbourne City v Wellington Phoenix. That's kicking off at 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So make sure you join me in the live chat for that one. Should be a cracking game. A good game indeed, Ollie. A good game indeed. Classy performance in the end from Tottenham Hotspur. Hey guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. Thanks so much for tuning in, as mentioned. My name's Lockie. This is Coast Watch Football, and I'll catch you guys in the next